Hey everybody, it's Cliff with Indoor Garden Market Planter, and I'm excited to welcome you back to our third week of 2026. This is the Indoor Garden Market live training program. It's held every Saturday night, 8 p.m. You can join anytime. You can grow along with us with our free training program QR code right here. As part of that program, you actually get tips and tricks, a total plan across the whole year of 2026 that will allow you to do 4 full plantings of greens and herbs in soil or hydroponics and 2 full seasons of fruiting plants. We're going to talk about both of those, give you some demonstration systems to kind of mull over. If you haven't jumped into indoor food growing yet, maybe you thought about it, maybe you saw it on the news or something, now is a great time. It's possible to grow more than 75 pounds of greens, herbs, and fruiting plants in about the same size space as a coffee table. It's less than grocery store prices. It's never been better. Lights are great, systems are great. There's just many ways to get started. We're going to break out those things for you right now. So, this is a high level setting up your first indoor garden. We're going to do a quick walkthrough. Feel free to reach out on our website, Indoor Garden Market, if you've got any questions, and you can always tag us as well, Indoor Garden, hashtag Indoor Garden Market, or my indoor food garden, as well as the regular planter tag as well. So, moving right along here, lots of interesting stuff to show you. We're going to take you through pretty much all of the steps about how to do this, and we're going to assume you have no knowledge. So it's a quick session, 20 minutes. You can get supplies that you need, everything at our website if you scan that QR code or head over to Indoor Garden Market. So let's jump straight in here. So the first thing we're going to talk about, when you're looking to set up your first indoor garden, food garden, important point here, greens, herbs, fruiting plants like peppers, tomatoes, which we'll show you in just a second, that's been growing in my indoor food garden. A couple things to consider. You really don't need a lot of space, about the same size as a coffee table, approximately, would be all right. You can use something that's on a table. You could put something that might be in a shelving unit. You can use a vertical hydroponic system, a box hydroponic system. There's lots of different things out there that can help you out. Just make sure that you are just considering their space. Look around your home. Imagine a spare space about the size of a coffee table, and then figure out how much you want to grow in that space. Give you a kind of a guidelines. 12 plants is good for culinary herbs. 16 plants of greens and herbs is enough for salads every week, 2 to 3 on average. If you have a large system that grows more than 30 plants at a time, you're going to be able to harvest continuously every single meal. Greens, herbs, cooking herbs, culinary herbs, everything you want. So if you're looking at systems out there, it's the 12, 16, 30, 32. Let's call it 30 plus rule. Really important, and there's lots of great stuff out there that can help you. You don't have to have a dedicated room. You can start off with a really small system, and you're going to get great results. So make sure that you are just considering what are you going to use this indoor garden for. Food, ideally, is what we're going for here. So maximum food. But if you cook a lot, you love having fresh basil, maybe oregano, chives, all of that stuff. You can grow really well in the hydroponic systems. It's going to grow back really well, and it's going to be productive for a long time. So lots of great ways that you can improve your growing environment. And by growing indoors, we do it 365 days a year. No more limitations, no taking down your systems outside, no bugs, no deer, neighbors stealing your tomatoes, whatever problem you can imagine. All of it gets much, much easier if you are coming indoors. So, moving right along here, a couple of different systems that we're going to highlight. There's a lot of smaller box systems, and I'm going to show you. This is actually a 6 box system. It's an Arrow Garden. I got this one. I think it was on Facebook Marketplace. They're pretty much ubiquitous. Really simple and easy to use. It's got a light on the top of it that you can extend up and down like this. Let me just pull it up a little bit. So these plants have been growing inside. They were planted from seedlings into the system itself, and they've been growing in this system for about 2 weeks. this is the size. So you can start to harvest from this, couple leaves each, and you will find that these things will grow. In another week, they will have taken over this entire space, and you will be kind of out of room. So all fresh greens you can harvest and you can cook with, maybe throw into some soups. These systems are really simple. They've got a water reservoir. See if you can open it up there so that you can get a peek inside of it. There's a water reservoir for your nutrients down in there. There's a pump to set up your system. It's very, very easy. All you need to do is, going down there. All you need to do is grab one of your pods. So the systems come with these little pods. You poke a hole in it, put a seed into it, and then you stick it into one of the baskets that are inside of this system. That's all that it takes. There really is nothing difficult at all. You can see right there the roots coming out. That's all I did. I pre-grew these seedlings out for about 30 days, and then I popped them into this system. And about 7-8 days later, this is what you're going to see. So really easy to do. There's no weeding. There's nothing special. You can harvest immediately once they get up to this stage. Don't harvest all of the plants, but definitely you are going to be able to start harvesting pretty much right away. So these little box systems are everywhere. I'm sure you could find one on Facebook Marketplace, or pick your Craigslist, pick your favorite website to get discount products and things. People will often throw them away even because they don't really know how to use them and to be efficient. So I would recommend either getting a seedling source on the side, for example, through our indoor garden market, if you happen to be in the Washington, D.C. area, or you can grow seedlings as well. We've got free classes on our website, Indoor Garden Market, and it's all part of the free training program right there. Now, you're not limited only to hydroponics. Another thing that's pretty amazing, this is actually a dwarf tomato plant. It's a smaller size. These are container tomatoes, dwarf patio varieties. Often they're called this as well. Nice thing about these, really compact tomato. So just to give you kind of a sense of it, here's my hand. Right, can I put it next to it? Yeah, so those are my fingers. It's a very small plant, but extremely productive. Every single one of these is a tomato coming out here. If you can see any of the flowers, see if we can find a flower. Yeah, okay, here's a flower right there. So to give you a sense of it, 2 weeks from the flower, you'll start to see tomatoes like these. 2 weeks after that, you're going to get ripe tomatoes. You'll be able to harvest. So this plant is coming up on about 3 months old. It has been growing in a self-watering pot. Nice thing about these self-watering pots is you can actually just keep the water topped off in the pot. Right there, you probably can't see it, but there's water down in there. You just keep that water topped off, and you are able to, you can leave for a week, no problems. The plants are going to be all right. You can put an automatic drip timer on your system. There's lots of different ways to do it, but you are able to grow endless amounts of tomatoes. So keeping in mind 2 full cycles of tomatoes across a whole year, you can start these tomatoes on your own in a separate container. If you're near one of our local plant providers on Indoor Garden Market, you can get a bundle from them. Really easy to grow these. They don't really get that big. Like you can see, this is putting most of its energy into producing tomatoes. It's not making a giant plant, and it's done that based on breeding. So it has been bred to get smaller and smaller, more and more compact, and produce more and more tomatoes. So it produces less of its body, that big sprawling plant you're used to, in an indiscriminate tomato that might be grown outdoors. And it's making a small tomato that you can enjoy. So it's very sweet. These are called Tiny Tims, and they're really easy to grow. So this system is super simple to set up. You fill the soil inside of it. You're going to plant your seeds, and then about 3 months later, with a good strong light, I would recommend about 100 watts of LED light, full spectrum grow light. You're going to start to have tomatoes growing, and you're going to start harvesting. Now, if you're interested, like how many of these things would I need to really kind of justifiably replace the grocery store? Well, on average, these smaller plants, I would say probably 6 of these per person in your home. Now, if you do vertical shelving, you've got a lot of them growing, you could easily have just overflowing amounts of tomatoes. And to get to that stage, I would start a couple of these tomato plants every month or so, or every third week on average through the year. That's all part of our training program here. We do walk through that process with you and help you through the start there. But two easy ways of doing this. Do you want fresh, beautiful tomatoes that are never sprayed with anything and you control? You've got them. It's not expensive to do this. Lights are cheap. Tomatoes are delicious. I mean, there's a bunch of different reasons why you'd ever want to, you'd like to do this. So lots of great things that you can grow. And let me just grab our QR code for these. I believe we've got one of those set up. Oh no, doesn't look like we got it set up. That's all right. I'll throw it into the chat at the bottom, so you've got a link to these tomato varieties in particular. But if you're looking for an easy package to buy that has hundreds or thousands of seeds that grow great in hydroponic systems or soil, then this all-in-one hydroponic greens variety pack is going to be a great option for you from Seeds Now. Those are going to last a really long time. So keep in mind, when you plant out in the soil, oftentimes seeds are not planted at the right depth. The wind catches them, they blow away. No such issues with these. Once you pop them into this right here, as long as it's a strong germinating seed, it must germinate. Not all seeds do, so something to keep in mind. But once you pop it in there and pop it into your system, very, very high success rate. So you will experience something that's probably not well known when you're growing outdoors. Very high success. And that's one of the frustrations most people have, and that's why they don't like to grow outdoors. There's lots of ways that you can mess it up. And not even you, it could be a windstorm came through and destroyed your plants. You could have a really hot spell. You'd have to leave for vacation in the middle of the summer, so everything would die. Many, many stories like that. Well, not anymore. We can grow pretty much unlimited amounts of these types of plants and we can get great results. So let's move right along here. So when you're adding plants, seeds versus seedlings. So you've already seen what the seedlings can do versus in a hydroponic system versus just planting. But to give you a sense of like days and like how much time, if you are planting from seeds in a hydroponic system like the one I just showed you over here, you're going to get to harvest size about 40 days. That's a long time. Most people don't like to wait that long. So what I would recommend is starting your seeds in a separate container with humidity dome, keep them covered. And then once they hit that 30-day mark in that separate space, then I will pop them into the hydroponic system and I'm ready to go. So this little box system, let me just shift our tomato over here and we'll bring over our hydroponic system. So we can use it for demonstration purposes here. This system it's really small, easy to clean. I can take this one down, compost my old plants that are at the end of their life cycle, say 2 or 3 months into the plant's life cycle, and I can put in a fresh bunch of seedlings, and I'll be ready to harvest the next week. Super easy, very, very efficient way of growing. And if you're doing that, you are going to grow not just 4 crop cycles. You could grow as many as 8 crop cycles across the year. If you've got those seedlings ready, it's really, really easy. So definitely seedlings is the best way to do this. I would recommend that. If you don't know how to do it yourself and you're in the area where we have our community growers, Washington, D.C. is the primary area right now, we've got these bundles available for you. You join one of our live events, you get your seedling bundle, pick whatever kind of system you want, and you're going to be harvesting in a couple of weeks. No need to wait. You can do it in January, you can do it in July. There's just a lot of different ways of getting started, and it's really never been easier. So seeds take a lot of patience. I would recommend starting seedlings on the side or finding seedlings you can transplant in your system that are ready for hydroponics and soil. Nice thing about it is if you've got a hydroponic seedling that you're going to use in that system, you can transplant it over into a soil-based system as well. They will adjust, and it really makes it easy to get started. So moving along here, let's go into, some do's and don'ts. So your first week is really, it's about observation. You don't really need to do much. So you're going to observe your plants, maybe feel the soil. It should feel moist like a sponge. You don't want to overwater your plants. You don't need to use fertilizer, generally speaking, not for the first couple of weeks. I mean, maybe not at all. It depends on the water you're using, the nutrients in your system. Hydroponic systems come with built-in watering and nutrients, so you never have to worry about that. So it's pretty simple. When you get the plants up to a decent size, bring our demo system over here one more time. When you get them up to this into a size similar to what you see right here, looks like I hit the button for late here. There, turn it on. So when you get them up to this size, you can start to harvest a little bit. This plant is going to grow really fast within the next 7 days. So you can harvest these little leaves off the side, and it will just continuously keep growing and growing back. One thing to note, never harvest more than 2/3 of the plant back. So for this plant right here, I might take this big one off on the side, and I'd leave these other ones here. And it is worth noting, you can probably already see this. I've got 6 holes inside of this system. However, there's not enough room for the plants. So what I've done is I have actually covered 2 of the holes. So I really only have 4 plants growing inside of this system right here. I've got a covered spot right there, and I've got, oh no, actually only 1 covered this time. But these plants are going to basically take over this whole space. So you're not going to be able to hold a lot of stuff inside of this space unless you give your plants a little bit more space and they're able to. I did that in the water there. Take that out. Unless you're going to keep them spread out, and they'll provide you a little more space. So harvest from the outside edges of the plants, and harvest early because these plants have a shorter life cycle. So they are not going to be able to grow forever. It's really important that you just keep those plants just keep on harvesting a little bit at a time. So awesome. Let's jump over onto some of the beginner mistakes. Honestly, a huge one that I've heard in our free online courses, a huge one I've heard just talking to people at our live events, is people will try to take a plant, I mean, even a system like this one that we have here, and they won't have another light for it. They will just put it in front of a window, and even spring, summertime, they'll come back 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they'll find that the plants are really long and thin and leggy, and they didn't work. And it happens all the time. It's a very, very common mistake. Reason is you need 10, 12, 14, I mean, ideally even more hours of sunlight in order to make these plants grow. They really love high, intense sunlight. Not going to get that from a window. Maybe a sunroom could potentially. Climate controlled sunroom might be an option, but definitely not going to get that from a window. You'll need to add some extra lights, but it's never been cheaper and easier to do this. These lights are very, very efficient, and they're going to get you really great results. You want to make sure that you don't have too many plants in the system, like we saw with our hydroponic system there. Soil, you can cut some plants back if you see that you've got a really big bunch of them in there. You want to, I generally am a fan of using the self-watering pots. So you're going to water the bottom of the roots as opposed to the top. That eliminates a number of problems. First of all, you're just not going to have that many bugs pop up because the soil is not really wet. What's wet is the root system at the bottom of the plant. So those areas where gnats and like fungal gnats, things of that might start to crop up because you're pouring water on the soil. You don't see that quite as much because you're actually just feeding the root system the water it needs. So you can add on lights. That's a great way of getting better results, and you don't really need to add water if you're using a self-watering pot. That's a great way to do it. So if you haven't done so already, thanks for joining us here. Free training program on our website where you can go through the whole cycle with us, grow through everything in start to finish. We've got our 2026 guide that will walk you through everything, all of the cycles, where to get your supplies. It's really handy. And we have these live streams every Saturday. You can see these systems live. You're able to figure out how to do this. If you've got any questions about specific systems and how to use them or troubleshooting, feel free to reach out on our website, indoorgardenmarket.com, or come to one of our live events if you're in the Washington, D.C. area. Now, another great reason to come to one of our events is we really help you get started in the fastest possible way. So we can save you 30 days of growing time by purchasing one of our seedling bundles. Now, the bundles coming up available for us in February are really exciting. We've got romaine lettuce, butterhead, bib lettuce, red leaf lettuce, spinach, red Russian kale, rainbow Swiss chard, arugula, mizuna, tatsui. All of these are going to be in the bundle at the event. You can select a system you like, order it, take a seedling bundle home for free if you order a system at the event, or you can purchase a system if you've already got or you can purchase a seedling bundle if you've already got your system. These seedlings are going to last for a couple of months. When you start to realize, oh, things don't taste so good anymore, I need to cycle my system, you can always come back to our local event and you can pick up another seedling bundle. We will have another bunch of beautiful seedlings for you, and you will be harvesting within a week after transplanting into whatever systems. So it's a really great deal. It comes with a free Udemy course that we have now that takes you through this whole process. Also available, we launched that earlier in this year. Would love to have you learn through our digital course, and it comes with nutrients as well. So you can pair those nutrients with any kind of hydroponic system you like. You could even use the nutrients watered down in soil systems too. But generally speaking, they are great for hydroponics. So definitely check us out. If you're coming to any of the events, we do have one coming up February 1st, Crooked Run Brewing in Sterling, Virginia. So if you're joining us from somewhere else in the world and are excited about getting going and growing, awesome. Very excited to have you here with us. And we've got our free training program, totally remote, tons of resources, information on systems, how to grow seedlings. We have virtual classes that are held every month. We have these live streams every Saturday. There's just a lot of different ways you can get support. So this is week 3 of our 52-week grow-a-thon across the whole year indoors. We grow indoors, and that means we don't ever have to stop. So the next week, Saturday, we're going to talk about starting seeds indoors, rock wool, soil, germination, all of those different things. I'm going to give you some of the basics for that. And keep in mind, if you go to the training program and sign up, you get the reminders to actually join all of those, the free courses where you get to get a little bit more hands-on practice of how to do this. So it's a really great skill. It's going to save you weeks of time waiting for your plants to get to full size for harvesting. And it's going to make you a super efficient grower, whether or not you're only growing indoors, or maybe you want to grow some seedlings and plant them outdoors too. All things are possible once you know how to do these seedlings. Or you can get some seedlings from one of our local plant providers. Great option too. But either way, hope you can join us, learn more about it. It's going to be next Saturday, 8 p.m. Thanks so much for coming and learning with us. We looked at some great hydroponics. We looked at a lot of different greens and also our dwarf tomatoes. Those are some of the exciting varieties you can grow indoors in your own home, and you just need some very high efficiency lights. There's an investment there, but it's not much, and it doesn't use much power. So take back a little bit of your family's food supply, work yourself towards maybe 100% in the future, and really eat the freshest possible greens, herbs, tomatoes, and everything else that you can. So long from me, Clift. I'm the Loudoun County community grower, and I hope